Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. It is Saturday. We have been in calm and collective mode today, building up to the big one tomorrow. Manchester United looking to secure their spot in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup against Fulham. We'll be dealing with all of the match talk tomorrow in a big match day content-wise anyway. So stay tuned for that one. Make sure you have liked the video. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel already as well. Tonight we're talking about Marcus Rashford's value compared to Antony's, because there's a story going around that Antony is valued higher than Marcus Rashford when you go off the release clauses from their respective loan deals that they have got right now. We're going to update you on the Osimhen. Yes, I know. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm just going to keep you updated on it. You can give your opinions if you want. But honestly, right now, I'm kind of tired of the Osimhen situation. We've talked about it enough already, but I'll update you on that as well. We've got more word coming out from Ruben Amorim as well ahead of this game. What Harry Maguire said also. Harry Maguire is saying that Manchester United needs signings. What context has that been said? We'll talk about that. We'll bring your opinions in on that also as well. Plenty to talk about, plenty to discuss. I was going to have a big laugh at Manchester City about being 1-0 down to Plymouth, but it does look like the game is now all square, so we can't do that. But ultimately, it was funny for about 5 minutes, wasn't it? Real Betis, I've got Antony in their side right now. We're talking Antony. I think it is still 1-1 in that game, so Betis doing well. And with Antony in their side, really are moving places. His value is definitely rising. And I want to talk about Antony's value today. I want to talk about where he's actually at and what value he's seen at. I mean, let's just double check this score quickly while we're at it to make sure. It is half-time in that game, and it is still 1-1. So, Antony in the team for Real Betis again. No assist for him yet in this one. Let's go with that one. But, hey, Antony valued higher than Marcus Rashford. What is that? Where's that come from? Well, a report's come out. I'm going to read it so you're completely up to date with everything yourselves. But yes, a report has come out about Antony. So we know, for instance, we know what Marcus Rashford's buy is for Aston Villa. If Aston Villa want to buy Marcus Rashford, it's 40 million quid. Antony's apparently, Manchester United's asking price for Antony, according to multiple reports, is 41.3 million. They want 50 million euros for Antony. Are they just saying this now because Antony's in form? There was no way, there was no chance, not a chance in hell that they were going to get that money for Antony going into Betis while he was going off his United form. Has he played that well that United are really going to cash in and recoup most of the money that Manchester United spent on him when we bought him a couple of seasons back? Still, 41 million is way short of obviously what we bought for him, but my God, if Manchester United pull that one off, I will be like, well, yes, maybe we can go and buy Victor Osimhen, and we do have the money for him, because you're not just getting your money back in terms of transfers, in terms of his contract and that situation. You're also ridding yourself of another 2.5-3 years worth of 200 grand a week wages where Antony's on at the moment. It would be an absolutely miraculous deal for Manchester United to get done. And you know what? If they can, hats off. Well done, Manchester United. Well done, Ineos, the structure, whoever. I still don't see it. But that's the question I want to ask tonight. Like, that story is there. Antony valued at 50 million euros. That puts him ahead of Marcus Rashford. Who'd have thought that last season? Who'd have thought that coming off the back of Rashford's 30-goal season in Erik ten Hag's first season in Manchester United? Rashford hits 30. Antony turns into a bit of the circus clown and everybody's having a go at him. The second season, both of them play bad. Last season, Rashford and Antony both actually having absolute stinkers of seasons. But Rashford had banked a lot of favouritism. Rashford had banked a lot in his previous few years at Manchester United. How crazy is it that there's an actual situation developing right now, and it could come into fruition this summer, that Antony is going to fetch Manchester United more money than Marcus Rashford? Where did that ever come from? But if he continues, Antony this is, in his form right now, he actually could bring United more cash than what Marcus Rashford is. Now, we're only saying this because Marcus Rashford has that release clause. United and Betis don't have a release clause and a buy clause for Antony on the loan deal. Rashford has got one with Villa. It's 40 million. We know this. Antony is going to hit all sorts of bonuses if he continues in this form. And United are actually going to earn money off Antony in this deal. Like we did with Jadon Sancho with Dortmund last season. It's very, very good and promising in terms of the money and dealing with financial fair play. And that's just a loan deal on its own. United, in what they would have had to pay Antony from January till the end of the season, we're actually not paying it and are actually going to earn a little bit of money with the bonuses that are in play with Antony and how much game time he's getting and how Betis are actually performing. So that situation is good on its own. But United now, I think, have been bullish enough to actually put a price on Antony's head. And if he continues in this sort of form and he brings up the numbers, double figures for goals and assists, basically, combined, I think, till the end of the season, he's a £30 million player. If he can carry on at this form and it's going to eclipse that, I think you're probably looking between 15 to 20 goal involvements for Antony from now until the end of the season. If he continues at this rate, that is, then you're talking about that 41.3 million that United want, 50 million euros. That would be miraculous in getting that amount of money. And you know what? After everything that's actually been said about Antony, he would actually come in second under Romelu Lukaku for the most expensive player sold by Manchester United. Now, can you imagine that actually happens? That would be absolutely ludicrous to say that now. But, well, you look at what he's doing. Right now, he is pushing Real Betis closer and closer to them Champions League places. He's actually, when we look at the league table right now, and what's actually going on in La Liga, when you look at it, so Real Betis are currently 7th. If they do win today against Madrid, and it is 1-1, if they get that miraculous win today, then they go up to 6th. And they're really pushing it then to get closer. Obviously, it's still a bit off in getting close to Bilbao, who are in 4th. But start on 48 points, it would leave Betis 10 points behind. But still, that wasn't really within Manchester United's bonus setup. But if he gets Betis into the Europa League sort of standings, which is definitely doable, and they're still in the Conference League as well, and Antony, is he not worth 41 million? I think he actually is. And all of a sudden, because Marcus Rashford has got that issue at Manchester United with Ruben Amorim, we know Ruben Amorim isn't going to leave Manchester United. Rashford's got that buy clause in his loan. Antony's all of a sudden worth more. That would be absolutely, honestly, it would be crazy. I keep saying it, I know, but I'm struggling to actually think it. But it just goes to show as well in all of this, like when you put everything down on the table, how far Marcus Rashford fell at Manchester United and how poor he must have been to be in this situation right now. And like I said this morning and previous shows as well, I'm absolutely buzzing for Marcus Rashford to be doing a lot better right now. I'm happy that he is in a good place and he's performing well for Villa because it helps United's future no matter what. And that ultimately is what everybody wants. So we know that Villa are looking to ready a bid for Marcus Rashford. We know that he has now come out and said, according to the reports, that he wants to stay at Aston Villa. I hope he does. I really do, because I think the Premier League suits him. It's going to be weird seeing Marcus Rashford walk out at Old Trafford again in another shirt. And obviously he won't be able to do that this season for Aston Villa because he will be loaned. He'll be loan tied, as they call it. So he can't play against his parent club. So it will be very, very strange watching Marcus Rashford come in on a coach for the away team at Old Trafford. But that is a big, big reality right now going into next season. But again, like when you look at the numbers, when you look at everything's going on right now, Antony worth more than Marcus Rashford? Wow. Nobody would have said that was even plausible. That was not even on anybody's conversation list or even debated at all. I think everybody would have accepted 25 million for Antony at one point just to get rid of the guy. But now, 41? That's a mega deal for me. That would be absolute boost. We're going to get your comments on this as well. We are interactive mode, everybody. Get your comments in now. Let me know what you think. Give me your ideas on what you feel is, well, realistic in all of this. Can you see Antony going for 41 million? That's what United value him at. And be real, because we're looking at this in his current form and what he's doing for Real Betis. And like we said, if they do manage to win this game today, they're up to 6 in La Liga. And obviously, going from the mid-table mark when Antony came in, he looks like he has made a difference at Real Betis. So I think that goes a long way in terms of what Real Betis are thinking as well. Peter says, Adam, I think it's because Antony doing more than Rashford right now. That's just it. I mean, different levels though, isn't it? It's like, I don't think it is because he's doing more. I think United have just priced up Marcus Rashford because they need him gone. I mean, that's what it is. And let's be honest, even if Rashford is sold for less than Antony, he's still worth more in terms of PSR and his wages. It's crazy to think that we're talking about the astronomical wages that Antony's on, and Marcus Rashford's on 150 grand more than him a week. Oh, that's scary. For them two players that are on loan right now, doing well at Villa and doing well at Real Betis respectively, Manchester United are forking out over £500,000 a week in wages for players that are not doing well. We're not in terms of these loan deals, but that's the state of affair. That's the state of play. If they stayed, that's what we would have been doing. Paying over £500,000 in wages a week for players doing nothing. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Guest says, don't jinx it, Adam. I know. I like I said, let's hope that they stay fit, first of all. Let's hope that they stay in form, secondly. And let's hope that that does create that deal and that package that's worthwhile to them buying clubs when the summer comes around. I think that's what we've got to hope for right now as well. P says, I don't see how United gets meaningful money for either. It's because what club will want either of these players coming in and smashing their wage structure to pieces? Well, I think the reality is that Antony knows he's not going to get as much money. So does Marcus Rashford. And I think if they want to play football, and Rashford, the only difference with Rashford is, and why I think he will go, is because he knows if he goes back to United, yes, he'll still be on that big wage, but he's not going to get in the England squad because Ruben Amorim is not going to play him. And Rashford wants to be part of the World Cup, one of the biggest World Cups in history, or what it is going to be according to reports, in how much money Donald Trump is pumping into FIFA to make it this absolute bonanza of a football tournament. So everybody wants to be involved in that, and Rashford doesn't feature. Antony has just been called back into the Brazil squad as well, while playing for Real Betis. That makes a massive difference, I feel. And I think because of that, these players are looking at this now and going, yeah, actually, I do need to be in a different place to Manchester United. My career will go on to another level. And let's not forget, Antony isn't just in the market. And United have said they're open to selling Antony to other clubs as well. Antony's not just there for Real Betis. Someone else in that top half of the table, or in that top four in La Liga, might be looking at Antony right now. You could look at Atletico Madrid. They could be looking at Antony. That could be a play that works well for Simeone. You just don't know. He's doing everything now which we wanted him to do, which is putting him out there in the market. And now he's back in the Brazil squad. He's going to get even more notice and recognition. And I think that price will just keep on going up and up and up and up. So, honestly, I think this is absolutely really good news for Manchester United. I'd want up top Jonathan David and Liam Delap, 40 million for both. Kenda Gomez, say 50 million. Give Altai a go when fit instead of Anana. Harrison is number 2. Sean's just sitting out his season for next season. Right there. Real Betis are 2-1 up now. That goal has just gone in. Betis beating Real Madrid. Let's check on that right now. 2-1. So Betis, as it stands, let me just have a check on this now. I'm going to make sure that I was right with my league tables. Bear with me a second, everyone. Let's just make sure on this one. So as it stands right now, Real Betis up to 6 in La Liga. They are 10 points off Bilbao in 4th place, Champions League places right now. Antony is playing a blinder right now for Real Betis. This is crazy. This is crazy stuff. And it's Isco with a goal and an assist. So it's Isco who's the one who's actually doing the business for him tonight. But again, while Antony's been there, their form has been absolutely mega. And you know what? This is what makes a difference. And when that Spanish crowd and when them passionate Seville supporters get behind a certain player, and I've been to Betis, I've been to Seville twice, I've seen how passionate that fan base is. And when they cling on to a player, they cling on to a player. And there may be pressure for Real Betis to go out and purchase Antony from that fan base. They do have a big say in what goes on at their football club. They are quite a big football club as well. So, if Antony helps them get to that stage or get to the latter stages of the Conference League, and they could possibly win it, if they climb that table in La Liga as well, I can see Antony easily going. I really can. Hopeful thoughts, says Michael. Yeah, it's hopeful, but I think there is a definite real side to what we're looking at here as well. As long as he keeps playing well, someone will come in for him in the summer, 30 mil minimum, says Tomo in Thailand. James Trafford is trash, no thanks. Another English hype player. Not really, mate. He's a good goalkeeper, Lille United. He really is. Mike Fergus says, "Hi Adam, we will have to pay that 150 million we owe on other players of the 300 million we owe in the summer." No, we don't have to pay all of that. It will come out in other installments. There is plans in place. We pay certain amounts each season. And don't forget, everything else which comes into Manchester United, revenue-wise, pays for that as well. It's not just what we sell. It's actually other revenues coming in, paying them debts. So everybody who thinks it's just what we sell players for, we have to use to cover the other debts, to cover the other transfers we haven't paid for yet. It's not the case. It's not the case. United are lowering the wage bill. And in the summer, we will rid ourselves of a massive, massive chunk of that wage bill. And that will help the books. That will help the revenues, hopefully, take over the actual transfer fees that we owe as well. And if we do sell players on top, yes, some of that's going to go towards paying some of the other debts and other payments we owe, but some of it can also be put onto players. And that's what United have to do to balance their books. It's not going to be big fees straight out. Like we said before, it will be structured monthly payments that United put into place, and that's how most clubs actually run. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, "Hi Adam, as well as Antony is doing at Betis at the moment, I can't see him going for anything more than 30 million. I also don't think Osimhen will come to us, as I don't think he will be in Europe next season." Well, I'm not really bothered about Osimhen right now. I've said this before. I was looking at this and thinking, how do Manchester United, first of all, financially make Osimhen happen? And that is through selling players. But if Antony can be sold, then the money's there for Osimhen. We can afford him. We definitely can afford him because Antony's an absolute bonus. It really is. I don't know about the wage structure, and I've said this before. If Osimhen wants stupid money, then United may have to walk away. And we may have to go down the likes of Liam Delap, players like this. Some players that people would say are second rate. We spoke about this last night, and we spoke about it a little bit this morning as well, in that we are looking at the moment at a different transfer window depending on finishing in Europe or not in Europe next season. Osimhen, if United are in the Europa League, I think can happen. I really do. If United are in the Champions League, you can guarantee United going for Osimhen. That's how much United's transfer window changes at that point. But yeah, that is the difference from doing well from now until the end of the season and getting into another competition in Europe next season and not. Antony would make up the difference for not being in the Champions League in terms of money coming in that we didn't expect. Because let's be honest, who thought that Antony was going to actually be sold by Manchester United? Not a chance. Philip says, "Hi Adam, if we're trying to get the wage bill down, why go for Osimhen? He wants stupid money." We're going for Osimhen because it's on our terms. And if it's not on our terms, like I said before, Philip, he doesn't come. End of. That's the only way we get Osimhen in. He has to fit into our wage structure. And I don't think he's going to get that money anywhere else. I really don't. So let's see what he wants to do. Let's see if he wants to drop his wages. But United won't be paying over the odds. Red Devil United says, "Adam, Rashford sale will pay for a couple of players with the Sancho money. Antony is a bonus." It is. Anthony Wisdom also says, "We're not going to get to all of our main targets this summer. We may have to look at second or third choice." Hopefully just second. I do. Honestly, if United bought Delap and we didn't get Osimhen, I'm not going to be too disheartened. I would want another striker, though, and I said this the other day. I would want another striker. To keep you updated on the Victor Osimhen situation, actually, and where we're actually at with it, Victor Osimhen and Manchester United. So this has come, again, from the same source, the Tier 1 source in Turkey, which originally said that Osimhen wants to go to United. He has said Manchester United have informed Napoli they will trigger Victor Osimhen's release clause this summer. So United, apparently, according to this Tier 1 source, with a huge following as well, very reliable apparently, United are ready to hit that release clause, which is 62 million, which would be a record transfer for Ineos so far. I know it's only the second summer in, but 62 million. I think 60's been that cut-off that we've all been looking at and going, actually, I can't see Ineos getting above that. But that's a lot of money. But what you are getting there is a guaranteed top-notch striker. That's the difference. And I feel like if anyone was to moan about him coming in on, first say, certain wages, all United would have to do to the rest of the squad, or say to the rest of the squad, is, well, look, this guy's been performing every single season he's been playing. This is what happens when you actually start performing at Manchester United consistently. I know it's risky because there's no guarantee he's going to do it for Manchester United, but if United are wanting to push the envelope a little bit with Osimhen, they're going to have to pay him a lot more. Antony is very much not a bonus, being able to clear 200 a week in salary, and what they still owe PSR-wise on him and make money is huge financial swing for this club. Very much not a bonus. No, Antony is a bonus. He is. I understand what you're saying, you got Ross, but Antony's a bonus because nobody's seen us selling him at all. And nobody's seen him doing what he's doing at Betis right now. So Antony coming in, yeah, I get it. We do need to pay a lot of what we owe still. And that side of it isn't a bonus. I think the bonus is Antony actually being sold for a decent amount of money to help us not worry about everything else in what we owe on him. If he can take care of himself, then that's a player gone and a massive chunk of wages off the wage bill a week again. And United can then start building let's just say, within the structure, we can start building packages for other players that will work better for the club. It's like you got rid of Antony and bring in Delap. I mean, wow. Yeah, that's good business. You're basically just getting the same. You're not getting rid of the finance of Antony because, for instance, say Antony did go for 41 million. You brought in Delap for 40 million. The only difference is you still got all the debt for Antony because you've gone and spent the same amount of money. I know it's sent in monthly installments, but still, when you look at the actual package, it's still Antony, same value as Delap, except Delap will be on half the wages of what Antony was on. And that's where they're probably looking at it and going, right, okay, we've still got the same financial issue, but we've actually got a better player that might make us move further up in the league that Ruben Amorim can use. And ultimately, what Ineos have said is it's all about the football, and United need to be playing better on the pitch. Will United play better with Delap rather than Antony in the side? Well, of course we would. And I think everybody can agree with that. So, really, there is a lot more to every single transfer deal, and there's a lot more to dissect in terms of the minor details of it. It's not straightforward at all. There's nothing in this like it's one player in, one player out. We're just going to use that money to spend on someone else. No, there's costs that have just that have been there since we bought them players that we're trying to sell now, and we still owe for them players. All it is bringing the whole financial figure for each month down and trying to use the money that we've saved to bring in better footballers. It's not just to clear one player off the books. It's to balance the whole spreadsheet as you would look at for all of the squad. So bringing all the wages down, bringing all of the players in that we can sell and balancing that, using what we can in that to bring the costings down at United, bring the debts down, but while still trying to spend some of it as well and actually bring better players in. Because if United get into the Champions League and continuously stay there, all of this financial issue starts to just drift away. United's financials will look 20 times better because, like we said, after next season, we thought it was going to come this season, the new squad ratio rule will kick in, and that for United would be wows off. That's a total different change in what we want to do. Yes, we do have to be careful with it still, and we do have to be in the Champions League because that's what balances everything. But that would give Manchester United a huge advantage. And let's not forget in all of this, in the boring factor of things, you still got the case between Manchester City and the Premier League. And if City win this next case about the sponsorship and dual ownership of companies sponsoring the football club under the same umbrella. And when all of that kicks in, if City win that case, then you're just opening up Pandora's box, and everything that United do will probably fall short anyway, and the league will be dead. And I say that because that just brings in City to do whatever they want, to earn what money they want from the sponsorships, and it brings the Saudis in at Newcastle, and that's end of days. Because no one can compete with the power of them clubs when it comes to the money that they have got in reserve. It's as simple as that. That's where United are at when it comes to what's actually happening right now in the bigger picture in the Premier League. This case between City and the Premier League is absolutely humongous. Adam Lawrence talking about Jaden Kamasan last night as well. Obviously, it was a tremendous moment for him to score. He's a fantastic kid, and we're really excited about him. He's always been a fullback and likes to get forward. Great to speak with the under-18s boss last night. That's come from Stephen Railsford. And obviously, the under-18s boss, Adam Lawrence, who is, you've probably seen on social media, giving that inspirational speech as well to the players, extra time. Look, we said it this morning in terms of the talent coming through. Hopefully it will come to it as well. In terms of that talent, we've got another one. Ethan Williams has scored today for Cheltenham again. That's another goal for him in the 1-1 draw with Grimsby. So I'm not saying that these players that are on loan are going to come back and smash it at United. I don't know. I don't think so. But you never know. It's still good to talk about... still good to talk about our academy players that are doing well out on loan. 4 goal involvements in the last 4 games for Ethan Williams for Cheltenham Town now. So doing well over there. Ruben Amorim loves living in Manchester, apparently. Ruben has been saying a little bit as well ahead of the Fulham game. A few more quotes have come out from the build-up to the game. But also as well, talking of interviews and talking about other quotes that have coming out. Harry Maguire has been talking as well. Harry Maguire has been open, talking about his time with Bruno Fernandes, talking about the manager, Ruben Amorim. He said, with Bruno Fernandes, we have a very good relationship. He supported me when I was the captain. We trust each other. He now is the captain, and we see each other as leaders. He's a fantastic player. An interesting one from Harry Maguire was, though, also on top of this, this group of players believes in Ruben Amorim's tactics. We probably need signings, and I'm sure there will be some. We believe in Ruben, his tactics, and his coaches. So Harry Maguire coming out and saying that Manchester United need signings. Is that because he sees the squad really pushing for depth and not having the quality there? I honestly, it's crazy to think that Harry Maguire would come out and say he needs signings. In terms of them signings coming in, that would obviously be a problem for his place in the side as well. And he would be looking at probably being one of them players that gets removed from Manchester United. But look, looking into the future, I think Harry Maguire there backing the manager, we expect Harry Maguire to do that. He's one of the players that hasn't done too bad under Ruben Amorim. He's adapted, and to be honest, Harry Maguire has adapted to every manager. He's just gone through a couple of seasons of really, really poor form, and it has had an effect on him. He's battled through that now, and he's come through the other side. So, yeah, I mean, when you look at it, Harry Maguire, when he's talking about Ruben Amorim there, believing in his tactics, we will see, won't we? We will see if the whole squad is. I actually feel that Ruben Amorim apparently coming out and saying as well before the game tomorrow that Garnacho has a knock. I don't think Garnacho has a knock. I think this is Ruben Amorim dealing with the situation of Garnacho walking off. From what I've been told personally about Ruben Amorim, he is a no-nonsense type of manager. If you cross him, you will regret it. He takes no prisoners at all. I think Garnacho is being punished, or he's just being, I feel, sat down on the bench. I don't think it's as bad as anything that it was last time. There's nothing really serious, but he has done something that obviously he wasn't allowed to do. And it's, like we said earlier on today, it wasn't so much a big deal. It's been turned into something big because it's Manchester United, but ultimately as well, I don't think Ruben Amorim can let this slide. So let's just look at it that way. Let's look at Garnacho not being not starting tomorrow and being on the bench, I think is Ruben dealing with it. I mean, you can tell me in the comments section, everybody, as well. Raymond says, Adam mate, Antony is on 150 a week due to Champions League. Can people not see the contracts? He's on 200 grand a week, though, mate. That's what his contract is. And he's got bonuses as well. So United will look at the whole package and what Antony is. He was on 200 grand a week when he came in. We were in the Champions League. We were then in the Champions League, and it's 200 grand gone. That's his original contract, and that's always going to stand. There will be a 25% drop, but still, his base rate is 200 grand, so you're going off the books. We can see the contracts, mate. Brown envelopes being prepared, and they will be passed under the counter. City will pay their way out of trouble. Graham says, let Antony and Rashford finish the season before we start contemplating transfer fees. No, Graham. Rashford has got a release clause in his loan deal, so it's factual. And United want 41 million for Antony. We're going to talk about it, mate, I'm afraid. So nothing to do with us. That's just what's being said. If you don't think he's worth it, fair enough. And yes, like I did say at the top of the show, but I don't think you heard it, mate. We will see if he continues this form and if they both continue to play. But it does look like you've just come into the chat, Graham. So I'll let you off, mate. And if you come tomorrow and United lose against Fulham, I'm going to blame you directly for that loss and us being out the cup. That's your punishment. That's for being late. Hello, anyone who is just joining us in the chat anyway. I hope you all doing fantastically well. Let's just... I like to check. I mean, I really don't care about Manchester City's game. I'm more concerned with what is happening with Real Betis right now. They are putting a dent in Ancelotti's title charge. It is, 15 minutes to go right now, and it's still Real Betis 2, Real Madrid 1. Them moving up to 6 in the table. That is excellent. I didn't see this coming at all. When you look at the stats in the game as well. Real Betis, check this out. Real Betis have limited Real Madrid to 1 shot on target. They've had 14 shots to Real Madrid's 4. They are tatering Real Madrid. And I'm not saying it's all down to Antony, but he has definitely given them more of a spring in their step. And we're literally now, 15 minutes away from Real Madrid losing to Real Betis. And Betis on a serious charge. It all bodes well. It all bodes well for Manchester United. And I hope and I pray that Antony continues in this vein of form and he goes forward and is worth quite a bit for Manchester United come the summer. And like we said before, Real Betis are not going to be the only ones in for Antony if he continues to perform well. So that's what we need to look at as well. Two Smoke 2, thank you for the super chats. I hope they both play well. We need a big summer. Yes, we do, and that is the point. They need to continue their form. They need to be They need to be valuable to both clubs, respectively Aston Villa and Real Betis. And coming into all of your comments right now, so let me know. Let's talk. We need to sell Antony for 34 million, and I hope someone pays 200 a week. If not, we owe him 19.2 million in wages. Look, he needs to play well. He's back in the Brazil squad. He's doing well for Real Betis. Even if Manchester United, if Antony doesn't agree a big bumper wage package somewhere, there's going to be a bit of a chunk of that gone, isn't there? Because someone's going to pay him an alright wage in between it. So let's just look at it that way. All we can do is hope that... And right now, I said it before, if Antony does continue this form, then we're looking at probably a £41 million player. That's a guarantee, isn't it, really? Because he's really taken them forward. Antony is younger and more attractive prospect, in my opinion, for anybody. That's Modern Samurai there, comparing Rashford and Antony. Make sure you have liked the video and subscribed to the channel as well. That is an instruction from Modern Samurai. You have to do it, otherwise he's going to come round. I wouldn't hold out too much hope of getting money from Betis. Their record signing is still Danielson. I've been at that stadium and they do worship that guy still. My God. Yeah. No, and that's the point I wanted to make at the top of the show. I said, it's not just Real Betis that are going to be in for Antony. What he's doing for Betis is putting him out there on the map. and everyone can see him. The fact that his form already has taken him back into the Brazil squad is massive as well. And that just makes him appealing. So it helps us sell Antony. It's not going to guarantee us the money. It just helps us sell him because he has shown form and he has shown quality for Betis. And like Ruben Amorim was talking about in his press conference, he said that the La Liga actually suits Antony better. The physicality of the Premier League is not for Antony. That's it. Graham says, I'm boycotting the World Cup. I turn off everything. The orange. Oh, right. He's talking about Trump. Naughty man, Graham. Don't you swear on the show. Let's see what else we've got here comment-wise. Barry says, you never know, Antony might come back and work for us. Oh, God, I can't see that one happening, but that it's always that one, isn't it? Never say never. But please don't. Simple, please don't. He could be worth 200k a week in La Liga. Nothing wrong with that. It depends who wants him. I mean, I look at Betis and the comment that said it there that Betis don't have a lot of money. That's very true. But you've also got to look at other clubs in La Liga that have seen what he has done for Betis at the time, a mid-table side, now pushing for that top 6, top 5 Europa League sort of standings right now, Betis as it stands. And someone like Atletico may look at him. I said that before. You could have anyone looking at Antony right now in La Liga. And it's not just La Liga either. It could be anywhere. It could be Italy. You could be looking at teams in Portugal, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it in terms of Portugal. But Germany, Italy, France, I don't know. There could be plenty of teams out there that would want Antony in their side in this form. Andrew, thank you for the gifted membership, my friend. That's gone to Triple M. Well done, buddy. Make sure you do put a big fat thank you in the chat for Andy W as well. Let's see. I mean, it looks like Zelensky. Well, let's not even go there with that interview. I'm sure everybody watched that Trump and Zelensky interview. What the actual F? Seriously? Oh, embarrassing. That's all I could say. Absolutely embarrassing. Me and Kaz were talking about it earlier on. Like, what is going on with that shit? Seriously. That is strange. Very strange. But hey, look. Football is what we're talking about right now. I don't want to get into all of that garbage, but still, to sum up everything that's going on with United right now, nothing else matters except results on the pitch. Tomorrow is an absolutely huge day for Manchester United because we're looking at an opportunity here. With the teams that are left in this competition, we could win the FA Cup again and just put ourselves back in the Europa League. We have to take this week. We take every week seriously. I'm sure they do. But this team needs to start switching on. It needs to start switching on and be ready. That's what it is right now. You need to beat Fulham tomorrow. To be in the last 8 of the FA Cup, that's what Manchester United need. They need to be in a position where we are competing for trophies. We need to be relevant. That's what's important. And you know what? A cup run can give players that confidence. We've seen it last season. It can give you that little bit of a spurt and a little bit of a moment. And that's what's important, I feel. I think that one, above anything else, the confidence factor is massive. Because going into Sociedad away, another tough game for United, any sort of confidence is good. We need to get a solid performance in Sociedad. I think we can win. We have won there twice before. I think the last 2 times we played, actually, we beat Sociedad away from home. It's never been pretty, but I think we've got Sociedad's number away. It's at home that I will be playing against Sociedad. That's the issue. So, for me, again, beat Fulham tomorrow, beat Sociedad, and this football club and the whole environment around it starts to turn. For tomorrow's game as well, and it's been put out there by Must as well, Manchester United Supporters Trust have come out and put a statement out online that Manchester United and Fulham fans will be joining forces tomorrow in a protest against ticket prices and really extortionate prices. 60-odd quid for an FA Cup. FA Cup 5th round ticket is absolutely ludicrous. And United and Fulham fans joining forces to protest against the hike in ticket prices around football. So that is happening as well tomorrow. And obviously, as we know, Obviously, we are away to Sociedad on Thursday and then back for Arsenal, where we will be having the protest and so-called walkout. But we will see if that actually happens. It needs to be a lot of Manchester United fans walking out of Old Trafford for that to happen. But anyway, that pretty much sums up our content for this evening, everybody. Nice, quiet Saturday. Calm before the storm. I'll be back at 8 o'clock in the morning with the full look ahead to what is going to be a jam-packed content day in terms of match day content. So make sure that you're tuned in. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV. And make sure that you have turned on your bell notification button as well to make sure that you are fully in the know on any content that is dropping. It is going to be a busy old one, like I said. Please give this video a like on the way out. Let's get over that 150 mark, everybody. And I will see you all later on. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday night. And let's bring on the Reds tomorrow. Hopefully we can get that win. More on that first thing in the morning. And from there, we are done. Cheers, everybody.